Welcome everybody, welcome to another episode of Binge or Cringe. My name is Hrag, and I watch Netflix series so you don't have to. And I really have to apologize for what I'm about to say. It's that I'm really sorry if there is any sort of audio interference from outside, if there's large clunks or anything like that. Mostly because it's garbage day!
Garbage day! Huh? No!
Speaking of garbage, today's episode is about an original Netflix series called You.
Binge or Cringe.
Alright, so let's check out what the premise is real quick. First season follows the story of Joe Goldberg. Goldberg! A bookstore manager in New York City, who upon meeting Guinevere Beck, an aspiring writer, becomes infatuated. Who gives a fuck anyway? Okay, I'm basically gonna go ahead and say it. I fucking hate this series in so many ways possible. Mostly because of its bullshit premise, being around like this one guy that gets super obsessed with a girl and gets super pretty protective. Yeah, that's simple. Yeah, that's pretty okay. But hey, guess what? He's a fucking psychopath. So how we find out that he's a complete psychopath starts off with the fact that a girl walks into the bookstore that he works in. Her name is Guinevere Beck, some little girl that wants to be a writer in New York. Whoop-de-do. They hit it off basically, but turns out she has a boyfriend who's completely toxic. He just sees her as like this thing to save because he thinks that he is going to be her savior. He is in love with her in every single way, shape, and form for some goddamn reason, even though Guinevere Beck is completely a toxic human being. But guess what? So is Joe!
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
The entire first season revolves around how they get around certain problems. And how do we find out that Joe is a goddamn psycho? He freaking kills her boyfriend.
Or you take my breath away.
I'm gonna basically just go ahead and tell you what I liked about this series. What I like about this series is the fact that it's okay. For me, it was difficult to watch. Not because of the imagery, not because of what they speak, not because of what's going on or anything like that. It is completely around the fact that it can be so much better. I have so many goddamn complaints. Where do I even goddamn begin? I'm gonna start off with my first issue, which is kind of just my own problem. It's the cinematography. Lens flares galore. So many goddamn lens flares every single 5 seconds. The cinematographer basically just going like, hey, this shot's pretty nice. You know what would make it even better? Lens flares. Yes, more lens flares. Give it to me. Yes, for I am a dirty little. The second thing I have a problem with, the pacing of this entire series is so goddamn slow. Most of the time, nearly every single scene that passes by, get on with it!
Yes, get on with it!
My third problem with it, it's the script, mainly the dialogue. The dialogue being that it's all in Joe's perspective. I understand that, I get that. But most of the time, it's just so, it's trying to be witty, but it's not really getting there for me, you know? The greatest example of ping pong dialogue is this scene from Silence of the Lambs where Clarice is talking to Hannibal for the first time. This is actually a fantastic example over what this series should have been. Let's face it, this series is trying to be something which it isn't. Which brings me to my fourth problem with this. This entire series revolves around the fact that recently, white women are really getting into serial killers. Yeah. A lot of the fan base of this series is basically just white chicks going around saying that, oh, Joe is so obsessed with her. Joe is such a hottie. I want Joe to be my daddy.
Daddy, no!
Daddy, yes!
And that's just something that I feel that the material itself was just made basically for the fact that like, hey, you like Ted Bundy, right? Yes, I do. Ooh, woo. And let's face it, none of this story would have actually happened if the actor who plays Joe isn't the sexy son of a bitch that he already is. I mean, look at that. I ain't gay, but like, damn, just acting. Don't get me wrong, the actors are doing a fantastic job. There is not a single weak actor within this show. And the crew, I'm very sure that everyone was fantastic on that. It's just that the story itself is lacking to me. In my opinion, it could just be better. Alright? That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to bash anyone. The series is fine. It can just do better, you know? So that's all that I wanted to say. That's basically about it. But is it worth a binge or is it just a cringe? For now, to me, it's going towards the cringe side. You can binge it. Try and go for it. I don't mind. It's a lot to binge. It took me a while. It really took me a while to be able to just binge it. It took me a while, really. It's mostly because of that stupid pace again. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between and outwards, thank you so much for watching if you made it all the way here to the end. And please do go ahead and check out our other videos that we work so very hard on, and we really hope that it gets somewhere eventually. So yeah, please like, subscribe, comments, tell us what you think. Alright, so yeah, this was Hrag signing off from the C47 podcast. Too sweet.